my Facebook page, and then you go to my Facebook page and share it from there. So I'm getting ready to stream right now. I'll let you know. Let me see. Let me know if you guys are seeing it. Oh, hello. I think we are streaming now. So hello, Facebook. Hello, world of Facebook. And everyone who is joining us now. My name is Candace Sogren, and I am the co-founder and center director at Boston Breakthrough Academy. And tonight we are so excited to host Michael Strasner for a 4-part seminar series entitled Creating Empowerment in Uncertain Times. We are so excited that you are joining us, and we would love to have you be a part of the conversation. So you'll see in the introduction that there is a link. That link will take you to the Zoom where you can actually be a part of the conversation. And I'll offer this a few times in the chat. You can also feel free to chat questions, and as I'm able to, I will bring those questions up to Michael, and we welcome you to join us. I will also post the Eventbrite links. That way you can join for the next in our 4-part series by reserving your free ticket. So thanks so much for joining us tonight, and we'll get started shortly. And see everyone smiling because they know they're on Facebook. You guys are all famous right now. I'm getting a few more people. So excited. So many beautiful faces joining the call. I'm going to unmute you all in a moment so we can have conversation while we're waiting. Hello, everyone. I just unmuted you. So feel free to say hello, or you can mute yourself. But
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
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 glad you're all here.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Candace, where in Facebook are you running this live? Is it on BBA?
It's on my Facebook page.
Yeah, I was there and I did not see you.
Can you go back?
Hi, guys.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys.
So we are streaming on Facebook now. We're going to begin at 7 o'clock in about 6 minutes. So you're all just getting to say hello to each other. We have so many beautiful faces on this call. And in just a moment, I'm going to put you on mute. If there's anybody that you're just itching to say hello to, make sure you do it now. We prepare for the one, the only, Michael Strasner.
Candace, it's definitely not on your Facebook stream.
Can someone else check, please? I'm seeing it on my Facebook screen.
Evan, I'll send it to you right now.
Okay.
Evan, you may need to clear your cache. All right, so now everyone on mute, but I'm so excited to see all your faces.
Ben, where are you, Ben? I don't see you.
And if all of you, if I know you, I am streaming this on my Facebook page. So my request is to go to my Facebook page and share it on yours and host a watch party from your Facebook page so that we can create exponential impact on the world. Hello, Kate.
How do we do that Facebook thing? I don't know. I've never done that.
Just go to my Facebook page, Rima, and you should see all of our Brady Bunch faces, and you should just be able to share it onto yours. And it should ask you if you want to set up a watch party.
What is your Facebook page under, Candace?
Candace Sogren, SJOGREN, Candace Sogren.
Okay,
I'll also post a link here in the chat on Zoom if you want to just go to that. Hold on, let me do that for you. Just in case you can't find me. So there you go. There's my Facebook page in the chat if you guys want to go there. Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hi, Candace.
Hi.
So Candace, we just
Hello.
start, right? And share. Start a watch party?
Yep.
Or do we do share or start?
You start a watch party, then it actually allows you to field like comments and all of that. It all brings the comments together into one comment conversation.
Okay.
So watch parties are great so people on your page can become friends with people on my page.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. All right, I'm going to put everyone on mute until we get started. So glad you're all here. Thank you for joining. Let's see, it's Michael.
Alexis McDonald, how did you hear about this group?
I just put her on mute.
I just texted you. I did a 6-month course through a sister program of Boston Breakthrough.
What? Awesome. We'll talk
Yeah.
after this. I'm so
Sounds
excited
good.
to hear that.
All right, everyone, I'm going to meet all these fabulous people. And Michael just joined. Let me just find him. Let's see. If you guys can find Waldo, I'll make sure that we have.
I see my friend Amy. And Hope.
Candace, if I do the watch party, I hear double audio. Is that normal?
I think you're gonna need to put your watch party on. Oh, I'm not exactly sure how that works. I think.
Yes, you can be mute on your Facebook. So go in your Facebook in the bottom right and it will have a volume button. You just click on that and it will mute your Facebook.
Okay. I cannot find it, but.
And I see Michael Candace. He's
Yeah, I just made him a co-host
okay,
now.
cool.
Admitting everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We're so happy you've joined us. We'll get started here in just a couple of minutes. We're so excited to have you. For those of you who are just joining, we are streaming this seminar on Facebook. I put the Facebook link in the chat. My request, if you're open, is for you to go onto my page and share it onto yours, and let's create a watch party and have thousands of people in the same conversation and see what we can create together. Okay. Putting everyone on mute for now. You can always unmute yourself, by the way, if you have questions or those types of things. So just know I'm just putting you on mute for now. And hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hey,
Hi,
Candace, I have a question.
Yes.
It's Alexis. So I just post the link as a post and then it'll pop up when you start?
You
How
should
does
be
that
able
work?
to. Yeah, you should be able to. Well, the link that I put in is my Facebook page. So you'll want to share when you see the Brady Bunch faces, you want to share that to your Facebook page.
Okay, clear. Thank you.
No problem. Okay.
Hi, Candace, sweetheart.
Hi,
Great.
Johnny.
Great to see your face.
Good to see you too, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Hey, Candace.
Oh, Kevin, hi. We have people from all over the country on this call right now, all over the world. I see some Londoners on here. Thanks for joining.
Ellie's in the house. Hi, Candace.
LA, San Francisco. I love it.
Thomas from San Diego.
Hey, Candace.
Yay. What other cities are represented, everybody? Oh, Deanna, hi.
Hi. Yeah, I'm in Maui right now.
Awesome.
Natty.
I know
Thomas.
It is 7 o'clock, so I'm going to place everyone on mute. I love you and want to hear your voices, but we also want to make sure to give time to the one and the only Michael Strasner. And let me find Michael. I know you're on here.
Hello.
Hello. So Michael, welcome. We are so excited to introduce, or I'm so excited to introduce Michael Strasner. For those of you who I don't know, my name is Candace Sogren. I am the co-founder and center director at Boston Breakthrough Academy. BBA is a leadership development and training center for adults whose lives are working, who are looking to level up in some meaningful aspect of their life. And so we have a 4-month Leadership Development Training Program. Give us some twinkle fingers, everybody. If you are a student or have been a student of BBA, give them a round of applause. And we are constantly just working with the most amazing individuals across the country who are coming to Boston to level up. And while we are here in uncertain times and finding ourselves quarantined and often stuck, Michael and I had a conversation about a week ago, and we said, what could we give back to the community right now? And what is the community asking for? And what we heard over and over again is, show me how I can be empowered and how I can create empowerment in my community in times of uncertainty. And so without further ado, I am so excited to introduce you to my friend, mentor, coach, and business partner, none other than the Michael Strasner. Michael Strasner is a trainer extraordinaire. He has trained hundreds of thousands of individuals in leadership development, and he has spoken all over the world. We are so blessed that Michael is available this evening and is willing to give his time. So Michael, thank you so much for joining us. And everyone, just as a ground rule, my request is that if you have questions while Michael is talking, go ahead and put them in the chat. I'll keep collecting them, and if I see themes, I'll bring them up. There will be moments in time throughout the seminar this evening. The seminar will run from 7 to 8 p.m. There will be times throughout the seminar where he'll open it up to questions. At that point, you can unmute yourself. But until then, I'm going to keep everyone on mute out of respect for Michael. So without further ado, Michael, thank you so much for leading this conversation tonight.
You're welcome, Candace. Hi, everybody. Great to see you.
Hello.
Great to see all the familiar faces, not only from Boston and the Boston area, but throughout the country. Many of you are as I'm looking at you, you're all in different places in your home. It's so interesting to see where people are setting up shop. I was doing a coaching call last night on Zoom with a training group, and one of the people was in their garage, and I could see all the stuff behind them. And it's pretty unusual because normally when we do a Zoom call or you'd be on a conference call, you might be in an office. And so everyone's office looks different. And some people, their office might look like a hammock. I know Deanna's in Maui, so I'm sure there's a hammock somewhere nearby. But I'd like to take a couple of moments to say to everybody, thank you for joining us in this call tonight. And thank you for taking this time and this opportunity to, let's say, pause of whatever it is that you've been doing today, and to really take this moment in time to look at your life and look at what matters to you and what's important to you and what's possible for you and for me and for all of us in our future. So let me give you a little bit of background for those of you that are not graduates or students of BBA and transformational emotional intelligence trainings. Let me give you a little bit of background about how this works. So BBA is called Boston Breakthrough Academy. And what we offer at Boston Breakthrough Academy are leadership trainings. So ultimately, the opportunity is for people to develop their leadership. Some people want to develop their leadership so that they can create a higher level of results or performance or excellence or effectiveness in their life. And some people want to work on their leadership in terms of their way of being or their communication or how they are showing up in relationship to the people that they live with and work with and play with in life. And so Boston Breakthrough Academy and the training is an incredible opportunity to transform how you show up, how you're being, what you're doing, and then ultimately what you're creating in your life. Can everybody hear me still? Because I just saw something pop up on the screen here.
Yep, someone was sharing their screen, so I'll fix that, but now it's on speaker view, so everyone can see you.
Oh, okay. All right. So So what I want to do is I want to make this experience and this opportunity valuable, not only for people who have not taken the training yet at BBA, but also for the graduates, because one of the things that I've learned by being a trainer, but also a graduate of the work of transformation, is that it's an ongoing process. It's an ongoing journey, just like relationships, and having my relationships work is an ongoing process and an ongoing journey. You know, what worked in my relationship 5 years ago doesn't necessarily work in my relationship today. So it's it's a never ending opportunity to evolve and to grow and expand who I am and how I show up, and who you are and how you show up. So I also want to talk about the virus, and I want to talk about the situation that we're all in. And I want to express to anybody and everybody that has family members that are directly being affected by this, I want to express my love and my concern and my thoughts and my heart. My heart goes out to everybody who is struggling and suffering, you know, through this process. I actually have friends and friends of friends who not only are sick with the virus, but a couple of people I know have actually passed away from the virus. So it's directly and indirectly affecting me, and I know it is all of you. And one thing I want to say about that is that the world that we live in often doesn't allow us to. I want to express my love and my concern and my thoughts and my heart. My heart goes out. Somebody just replayed what I said. That was weird. So where was I? Oh, I want to say that the world that we live in doesn't often give us an opportunity, or I'm going to call it a safe place to be able to express our emotions, our feelings, whether it be fear or sadness or anxiety or stress or pressure. And for those of you that might be feeling that, whether it be on a relationship level, whether it be on a business level with your job, whatever it is, whether it be on a health level for yourself or for the people that you care about in your own life, I want to say that it's completely okay. And I also think it's healthy. It's healthy to care, even if caring sometimes looks sad. So one of the things that I highly recommend is find a friend that you can talk to and get on FaceTime and ask permission for you to be able to express whatever those feelings are, and to give yourself permission to clear your space. I don't know how any human being could be going through this challenge that we're all going through and not be affected by it. Watching the news last night, and somebody was sharing about their mother passing away and them not being able to actually see them. And I put myself in that person's shoes. And even though I don't know who this person is, and I'm not related to this person or anything about their life, I'm a human, and I have feelings, and I have compassion, and I have empathy. And so I'm watching this woman talking about her mom passing away and her not getting to see her. And I cried. I was sad. I didn't really even know, can't even imagine what that must be like. I mean, my mother is in her late 70s. My mother has had pneumonia in her life multiple times. My mother has had bronchitis multiple times. My mother is a prime candidate for this virus. So about 3.5 weeks ago, I told my mother to stay in the house, don't leave the house, do whatever it takes to take care of yourself and be responsible. Don't see people, this is like urgent. And so my point to you is that even though this isn't my mother that passed away last night, I was putting myself in the shoes of this person and imagining how that would feel for myself. And so if anybody's going through that, I want to extend, as I said, my love to you and my thoughts to you, and let you know that that I care and that there are people that care. So feel free to reach out and be proactive. It's a sign of strength of character for you to allow yourself to be vulnerable and to express your feelings. Many of us think that it's a sign of weakness. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of weakness to not be authentic. It's a sign of weakness to pretend that something doesn't bother you when it really does. It's a sign of inauthenticity and putting up a front, and it's fraudulent to not be sincere about what you experience. And that doesn't help us in our relationships, in our life, or creating what we really want. So moving on from that, I want to say that in this time that we have together in this call, I want to focus on the opportunity that we have, because in every challenge, in every breakdown, in any and every stressful situation in life, even though it might not always feel like it, it's an opportunity. If you look back at history, many incredible things have been created in a very difficult or tragic or challenging or stressful environment or situation. So I shared this with Candace the other day, and I want to share it with you. So something that I learned that was created in a stressful situation, Tabasco sauce. Tabasco sauce, something that many of us use, many of us love, many of us enjoy. It spices up our food, creates flavor. Tabasco sauce was created during the Reconstruction period after the Civil War. In the South, during the Reconstruction period, people were suffering, people were struggling, people didn't have jobs, they didn't have work, they were struggling for food, and the very little food they had no flavor and had no taste. So the person that invented Tabasco sauce invented it from this challenging environment where things were not the way that he wanted it to be. And so he said, okay, I'm going to figure out something, because I can't stand eating. Even something basic as eating is not enjoyable anymore. And now here we are 150 some odd years later, and Tabasco sauce is sold all over the world. So he wound up ultimately being able to provide for his family, and how many hundreds of thousands of people and families over the years, how many jobs have been created by the person who invented Tabasco sauce. So there are many examples of that. And another example would be Isaac Newton. So Isaac Newton was a college student, and when he was a college student, there was a plague, and he wound up having to stay in his house for 2 years. We've been in our house for about 3 weeks. He was in his house for 2 years. So not able to go to college, not able to have the freedoms and the opportunities to go out in life like us. And he created calculus while he was in his house. Think about that. Calculus, something that's taken math to a whole new level, was created by a person who was stuck in his home in a quarantine situation during a plague, limited opportunities, limited possibilities. So here's my question to all of you. So write this question down. What are you going to create during your time in quarantine or shelter in place or whatever you want to call it? What are you going to create during this time in your life that will transform the quality of your life or the quality of other people's lives? It doesn't have to be a product. It doesn't have to be something business related. It could be something emotional. It could be something with your wife, something with your husband, a breakthrough in your relationship with your children. It could be a breakthrough in your relationship with your mother. I was coaching somebody the other day who said to me, I've had so many breakdowns with my mother, and my breakdowns have been going on with my mother in my relationship with her for 40 years. And I just don't want to pick up the phone, but I want to pick up the phone, blah, blah, blah. What am I going to do? And I said, well, what's been stopping you from doing it? She said, well, time. So think about how funny this is. She says, Time's been stopping her from picking up the phone. I said, how about now? Do you have any time now? She goes, yes, more time than I've ever had in my life. I said, okay, so what's your story now? She said, honestly, I don't have a good one. And I said, why do you want to create a relationship with your mother? Why does it even matter to you? She said, because I want to heal the past. Okay, so why do you want to heal the past? Because my heart is heavy. Because I'm frustrated and I'm carrying this frustration. And this frustration is impacting my relationship with my husband, and it's impacting my relationship with my children. And I said, okay, those are really valuable reasons for you to pick up the phone with your mom. So here's a question for you. What's the worst thing that will happen if you pick up the phone with your mom to call her and your relationship ends up exactly where it is now? In other words, no breakthrough happens, no transformation happens, no new possibility happens. Your relationship is exactly the way it is now. What will you have lost? She says to me, time. You mean the abundance of time that you have? She starts laughing. She says, it's really kind of stupid, isn't it? I said, well, I don't know. Is it? Yes, it is. Okay, so when are you calling your mom? I'm going to call my mom as soon as I get off the phone with you. I said, okay, now let's take it to another level. What are you committed to creating in your relationship with your mother? See, now that's a whole other ball game. It's not just healing the past. It's not just letting go of something that doesn't work. It's not just, letting go of frustration or stress or pain or hurt. Now we're talking about reinvention, redesign. So I said to her, is it possible for you to disembark and let go of the characterizations you have made up about your mother? Is it possible? Can you do that? She said, yes. And I said, what would it take? She said, I would have to let go of being a victim and being right. I said, okay. Is being a victim and being right serving you? No. Does it serve your husband? No. How about your kids? Is that who you want to be for your kids? No. All right. So is it worth it to get off being right? Is it worth it to let go of being a victim? She said, yes. I said, okay. So now let's go back. What are you committed to creating in your relationship with your mother? What new level of relationship? She started, I want to create patience. I want to create connection. I want her to understand me. I want to feel like if I share things with her, that she'll listen, that she cares, that it will be meaningful for her. Okay, great. And what are you willing to give your mom in exchange? I'm willing to support my mother in discovering what matters to her, what's important to her, listen to her, tell her stories, even though sometimes her stories go on long. I'm willing to really be patient and show her that I can be patient with her. I said, okay, are you a mom? Yes. How about being patient? Does that make a difference for your kids? Would it make a difference for your kids? She said, of course. I said, all right, so when are you picking up the phone? Right now. I said, okay, so don't go in there with a commitment to being right. Go in there with a commitment to creating what you intend to create. So let me hear from a couple of you. I'd love to hear from a couple of you. What is your version of Tabasco sauce? What are you going to create during this? I'm going to call it, you ready? Homeschool. This is homeschool, not for your children, those of you that are parents. And I'm a parent. I've got 5 kids, 2 in college and 3 in high school and junior high school. So they're not the only people that are in school. I'm in school too. You're in school. We're in homeschool. How are you going to spice up and flavor your life? What are you passionate about creating? So let me hear from a couple of people. Raise your hand if you'd like to share so I can call on you. Okay, I see a hand. Genevieve, if you can unmute your phone, what are you committed to creating to spice up your life and the world around you?
I'm
No, I don't
committed.
have a clear answer for you. I wrote that down and I've kind of been thinking about it while you were talking. But I don't know. Let me get back to you.
Okay. Lori, I see there's a Lori hand raised. Where's Lori C?
Here.
Okay,
Hi.
great. Jump right in.
I'm committed to, deepening my spiritual walk with Christ. And I'm also committed to reaching out to deepen relationships with my friends and family.
What would deepening your relationships look like?
Probably not judging them.
So is that something you do?
I don't think I judge people. I think they think I judge them. But at the same time, I just want to be, like you're saying, more authentic.
And do you think
and
that
available?
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
And available. I think during this time, it's been a really challenging time for everyone, readjusting to the new normal. And, I think that I hunkered down for a minute, but I think I want to start to be more available to individuals. So I think it's being more available and accessible.
Yeah, isn't it interesting? So we all had technology 3 weeks ago. We all had Zoom. We all had iPhones. Maybe you didn't have Zoom. Let me take that back. Some of you might, this might be a whole new world for you. But I've been using Zoom for 3 years professionally. And so we have phones, we have computers, we have Zoom, we have the capability to connect with each other. And isn't it interesting how disconnected we've become in our relationships and how disconnected we become as a society? And now we're actually using technology because that's one of the only ways that we can actually reconnect with our families, our friends, and the world, because we're all sheltering in place. And unless you're with the people that you love and care about, if you're alone or if you're only with one person or a couple of people, we have families, we have friends, we've got work coworkers, we've got lots and lots of people in the community that we're in relationship with, but we can't go see them. We can't have the privileges that we normally have. And so we're challenged, and now we get to use technology to practice social intimacy versus social distancing, which is what we've been doing as a society since the cell phone was invented. When I walk around the world, and I'm sure you've seen this, Lori, and many other people on this call, when I walk around the world prior to the last 3 weeks, everybody's staring at their phone. Everybody's staring at their phone. You go out to dinner, there's a husband and a wife, there are a couple of friends together, there's a family, everybody's got their phones out. I mean, imagine a world where we can be intimately connected and appreciate the opportunity to have those intimate, deeper, authentic relationships and be available. And imagine living in your family and the world that you live in, where we don't have to have a plague or a virus like this to get us to stop and to connect with who we are and what really matters to us. So this could be a huge wake-up call for everybody. Lori, thank you for what you said. I appreciate your contribution. Who else would like to jump in? I see Alexis M.
Hi, everybody. So it's actually funny. My intention, I usually set one word for the whole year, like as my focal point of what I'm going to focus on and bring myself back to when it comes to self-development and growth. And my one word for this year was divine feminine, and really connecting with her. And I had taken a course about a year ago that was all about femininity and balancing the masculine within me. And I was defaulted into my masculine due to certain circumstances that I went through in my life. So breaking out of that, it's interesting because this has forced me into my feminine in a very strong way of intimate connection is one of the biggest things that I had struggled with, that I intentionally decided to work on. And now that I'm quarantined by myself, I really get to connect deeper than before. I get to sit, and I'm a very creative person. And so I started writing a book, and I started allowing the source within me to flow. And I've been so proud, but there was a moment the other day where, it was almost like when I went deeper into my feminine, when I gave myself permission, an atomic bomb went off. And so, well, like a circumstance with people that I was quarantining with, because to me, this quarantine, it brings up a lot of shadow work. And so it really has allowed me to face deeper than I've gone before. And so the atomic bomb, I was able to confront parts of myself and question, why is this coming up right now? This is beautiful. Have grace with myself, kind of like bring in that feminine compassion, loving surrender deeper into it, rather than like, oh, I'm never going into my feminine again because this is awful.
Okay.
So yeah.
So Alexis, let me jump in on this. So intimacy, intimacy is an incredibly powerful idea, and I want to talk about that for a minute. So there's sexual intimacy, there's emotional intimacy, there's a lot of different kinds of intimacy, and many of us have relationships, but we're not intimate in our relationships. So what I refer to it as is basically we bump into each other, or we are shoulder to shoulder, sort of in the vicinity of each other. And often it's like sandpaper versus integrated versus intimate. And I want to say this to all of you. Intimacy has incredible power. Intimacy is me opening up my heart, me being transparent, making myself available, being present, being generous, listening, caring, finding out from the people that I love what matters to them, what's important to them, being a support for them, being a cheerleader for them. And also, I want to say that a lot of times we're looking for intimacy in another person, but we're not intimate ourselves. So it's like, think of it like this. Everyone wants a 10 relationship, but most of us are a 5. Think about how arrogant that is. We walk out there in the world with this mask on, with this inauthenticity, this bravado, this I'm too cool for school, this tough sort of attitude. We go out there in the world with, this laissez-faire kind of, I don't really care, or, maybe you got the snarky personality, or you've got the sarcastic personality, or you've got the invisible personality, the wallflower personality. We've all got our thing. And often what we don't do is open ourselves up and be authentic and be genuine and be real. And then we wonder why we feel so lonely in our relationships. So when we allow ourselves to be authentic, when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, when we allow ourselves to let go of the masks and be who we truly are, then we can create those kinds of deep, intimate relationships with the world around us. So I think it's an awesome opportunity, Alexis, for you to be sheltering in place alone, because really you're not alone. You're one with yourself. And when you can be one with yourself and love being with you, then you can exude that out to the world and attract the ultimate partner for you. How great would that be? How many of you are single, by the way? Do we have a lot of single people here? Okay, so think of this period of time as an opportunity for you to date yourself. And look in the mirror and see you without makeup on. Look in the mirror and see you and look at you from every angle and say to yourself, would I want to date this person? If the answer to that question is not an absolute yes, then something is missing. Now, if it's your weight, then what excuse do you possibly have now to not exercise? No excuse at all. Now is the time to become a vegan. If you have said to yourself, I'm going to be a vegan for months and months and years, I'm going to eat better. What are you talking about? You can't go out and eat. I mean, you could order food in, but now is the time to become the chef you've always wanted to be. If you go into your kitchen and you check out your spice rack is an infinite opportunity and an infinite possibility for you to create a pastel of food, healthy food that can support you in transforming how you live your life. So you could be using this homeschool opportunity to take your leadership to another level, to take your confidence to another level, take your authenticity to another level, and essentially reboot how you're being and how you're showing up. Okay, perk on that. Rich, I see somebody named Rich. If you could unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to talk about what you said before the lady came in, about internet, how today's technology has really brought us together. When we were growing here in Africa, when we were growing as a kid, we never got a chance to go out and then meet people, befriend people, because your parents will be like, just come and sit home, you ain't not go anywhere. You don't have to go out, you don't have to go play football, you just have to be in the house, because like they said, they're trying to protect you from violence, from the streets, from elderly people, from bullying and all those stuff. So we never had the chance to meet people that much. But when we were growing, they realized that no, we still need friends. We still need to connect to people. It's not only about family, it's about socializing with people. We need chance. They gave us a little chance, but that wasn't that much. But you know, today technology has given us a lot to prove ourselves, to get to know each other, to meet people. And today here we are. Just example, we just in a meeting and we're watching each other from all part of the world. Someone from America, Canada, and I'm from Africa, Ghana. You know, technology has really brightened our social relationship with people.
Yeah. Rich,
Yeah.
I want to say, first of all, I love your sharing. I want to say something. This is awesome. This is really awesome. You're from Ghana. How long have you been in the United States?
I haven't been to the state before. I'm still in Ghana.
You're
still
calling
here.
from Ghana right now?
Yeah.
Wow. Welcome to this call.
Thank
Also
you.
want to say, you know what? If you were in America right now, we would still be doing the same thing. So you're not missing much. If you were in the United States right now, you would still be in a home or a house and you'd be on Zoom. So you're not missing much. but you're
All right.
welcome to come to America anytime
Thank
you
you.
want. And
Thank you.
I really love your sharing. And I also want to say, how absolutely incredible is it that you have technology and you can connect with people in the other part of the world. So my challenge to you, Rich, is for you to create something spicy and something that will flavor your life so that you're using this time to create something really magical. Maybe it's a new product, maybe it's a new idea, maybe it's a business idea, maybe it's a way to socialize or create a higher level of connectivity with people that live in your community, people that live in your city or town. This is an opportunity for you to do that. So I challenge you to take that on. Are you in?
Oh yeah, I mean.
Thank you, Rich. That's wonderful.
Christy has been trying to raise her hand but doesn't have the feature, so she asked if she could speak.
Okay, Christy, sure.
Hi, thanks for doing this. This is great. I am creating in my homeschool time a brand new form of meditation that is instantly accessible to everyone. It includes channeled visual images. And so I put a link in there for everybody on this call that they can click to join a newsletter and get 2 free versions of it. One that is just with music and one that is a channeled guided meditation as well. So,
you're using this time to tap into your creativity and using this time to tap into your vision for offering what you do, which is meditation at a higher level.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. And more broadly.
And more broadly. Okay.
Yeah.
And where do you live, Christy?
South of Boston, Mansfield. Well, Foxborough, actually.
Okay. Got it. And so thank you so much. So everybody, let's go back to my questioning for you. So my question was, what are you committed to creating during this time that we're in this homeschool process? And the key part of this is something that wasn't going to happen anyway. Graduates, you know what I'm saying when I say a declaration, and this is for everybody, so write this down. A declaration is to cause or create something in the future that wasn't going to happen anyway. So it's a vision that I imagine. I use my creativity, my brain as a creative tool, not just an information gathering device, which I also want to point out. Many of us use our brains as a information gathering device, almost like a computer. So we just take in information and then we regurgitate it. So I want you to see your brain more as a tool or an instrument of creativity. And imagine if you use your brain, your tool, as an instrument of creativity. What are you committed to creating in the future for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for your work, for your business, that will take your life and the quality of your life to a whole new level? See, it's that kind of thinking that will inspire you and empower you during this shelter in place, during this quarantine. What isn't going to empower you is the following. You know, this sucks. I mean, this is awful. I hate this. You know, I can't stand being alone. I can't stand my situation. My work stinks, or, you know, I'm never going to be able to do this. I'm never going to be able to get my work back on track. Look, understand that you can have feelings, you can have thoughts, you can be frustrated, because that's human. We talked about that in the beginning of this call. But what you cannot do is give your power away to the feeling or the thought. When you give your power away to your complaints, then you become a walking complaint. When you're a walking complaint, nobody wants to be in relationship with you. One of my biggest fears as a trainer during this period of time right now, I'm talking about beyond my fear of people dying, because that's a legitimate fear. My fear of people dying, my fear of people getting sick, my fear of people suffering. I mean, I have all those fears for sure. But I'm talking about my fear as a trainer is people being together in a intimate environment over a long period of time. My fear is that the divorce rate is going to go up because people often confuse a request with a complaint. So I want to talk about relationships for a minute as how we can create the biggest possibilities in our love life, with our children, with our roommates. So everybody has a different point of view about things. We don't all have the same point of view. We also have different personalities. So think of relationship as a dance. We can't both be the lead in a dance, or we're going to be fighting for control. So I know for fact, some of you are fighting for control in your relationship right now. And what I can promise you is that if you're fighting for control, then you're playing what I call a win-lose game. And if you are playing a win-lose game, then here's the equation. Win-lose equals lose-lose. So this is not an opportunity for competition. This is an opportunity to create partnership with your husband, your wife, your lover, with your children. My kids today, we're doing their homework. We're now online. My son is now my daughter's tutor for SATs. And watching the two of them at the table, my son coaching and working with my daughter to teach her how to take the SATs, how to prepare for the SATs, and doing it in a fun, empowering, playful, loving way was incredibly inspiring to me. He wasn't making his sister wrong. He wasn't making fun of her. She was sitting there up on the edge of her seat, learning, asking questions. We're playing games every day. So learning how to create connection and intimacy by making requests. A request is, I would like the following. A complaint is, I don't like that you do the following, or I hate that you do the following, or it really pisses me off that you do the following. So would you please do the following? See, that's not a request. What that will produce is defensiveness and breakdown. What that will produce is argument. What that will produce is what I like to call he said, she said. When you're in that zone, we have the war of the roses. That is not going to produce love and intimacy and connectivity. It's going to create a Grand Canyon between you and the people that you love. So learning how to make a request is a proactive question you're asking of the other person, and they have the opportunity to say yes or no. They have the opportunity to accept it or decline it. So, honey, I would really love for you to spend time with me focusing on my business plan. Is there any way that you can do it? That's a request. When you make a request, the person has the opportunity to say yes or no. When you are complaining, you're not really making a request, you're making a demand, and it's not subtle. And what that does is shuts down communication, creates defensiveness, arguing, fighting, frustration, stress. And that's the last thing that any of us need while we're going through this process. So work on making requests of each other. Work on making requests and noticing when you're complaining about something. Learn how to resolve and release and let go of your frustration before you communicate with your partner. So there's so much that we could talk about. There's so much work that we could do. This is only the first call of a series of calls that we're going to do. I'd like to bring Candace back into the call so that we can engage. And Candace, are you there?
Yes, I'm back.
Okay, great. I'd like to bring Candace back into the call. And Candace, where would you like to take us now? And what are we going to take on next?
Yeah, so there was just one person who shared who wasn't able to raise her hand. Lori Van, would you like to share what you created? I was just so impressed by what you've been creating during your homeschool.
Oh, sure. Thank you. Hi, Michael.
Hi.
I'm also in PhD, so I have some extra support.
Motivation, yes.
Yeah, so I'm a registered nurse as well as an attorney, and I was just so upset about this pandemic and how my colleagues are being pushed into the fire without proper equipment and being asked to work in areas that they're not familiar with, just to support and help. They're just out there on their own, and several of them have come down with this disease, and I just was so upset, and I didn't know how I can shift and change things. So I thought, what can I do to help? What is going to be the most meaningful for these nurses and healthcare professionals? And what I came up with is a COVID-19 survival guide for nurses and healthcare practitioners. And basically it's a video series. And because everybody's home, everybody said yes. So I actually have like an infectious disease physician that I'm interviewing. I have an attorney on workers' compensation. So nurses who do contract COVID, they know what their rights are, an attorney on employment law. But then I also have all of the other people that are going to help support nurses, like meditation, mindfulness, relaxation, sleep, you name it.
Lori, thank you so much. I just wanted to give you an opportunity to share that because it was so relevant to the time. And so thank you for sharing. So team, if you have questions now, as Michael's been sharing about the difference between complaining and making a request, what's been coming up for you? We have a couple of questions for Michael, so we can open this up to question and answer.
General coaching, any general coaching questions, business, personal,
this is
leadership.
I do have something I'd like to request. I'm going to unmute my video
Okay,
here.
Sharon and then Harriet.
Hi.
Go ahead, Sharon.
Yeah, so my 18-year-old is determined to stay miserable and I don't know how to support her. Her whole world has been shut down and she doesn't want to hear any transformation speak from me. She doesn't want any motivational speaking. And her job ended, her school is online, she can't see her boyfriend, he only lives a few miles away, but it could be forever.
Your question of Michael.
So my question is, how do I help her to shift? What do I do? Who do I be to help her shift so that she can be in a positive space?
Okay, first of all, she's a teenager. Let's start there. At this point, maybe nothing, but you can absolutely love her and let her know that you're there for her. So teenagers happen to be moody. They go up and down and in and out and hot and cold, and everything is wonderful and the sky is falling and it's the biggest drama that ever lived and it's the greatest moment of my life, and it's a lot of that, and that's going to happen, and this is no different than that. But what I would do is for sure let her know that you love her, that you're there for her, and maybe you be doing fun things yourself. Play music in the background, maybe offer to play a game with her, but reinforcing that you love her and that you're there for her. don't take it personally. She misses her boyfriend, she misses her friends, misses her social life, and that's totally understandable. Is she a senior?
She's been in college for 2 years.
Okay. Yeah. So she probably wants freedom too. And you know, most high school kids, once they get to college, they crave the freedom of their own space, doing their own thing, all of the above. So she misses her boyfriend, misses her freedom. It's all normal. It's completely understandable. I would be unconditionally loving and playful and supportive and let her come out when she's ready to come out.
So what I'm doing.
There you go.
And Harriet, I saw that you raised your hand.
Hi, yes, thank you. Hey, Mike, I hope you can see me. It's wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for doing this.
Sure.
My difficulty is when I make a request, it's really hard. It's really hard to accept what if the answer is no. And I'm having difficulty with that, especially when it involves something like even coming to this hour-long chat with the person I love or doing BBA, anything like that. When I know I'm damn sure it's going to change someone's life and they still say no, no, no. And my love for these people is like I just want that to be the main thing. And it's really, really hard to accept any suggestions on, yeah, complaining, accepting. Hey.
First of all, this is important. It's not really a request if the person can't say no. So if the person can't say no, then it's really a form of manipulation and it's controlling the person and controlling the outcome. Okay. So what I would do is make it available and understand that some people, it takes more time. You know, some people it's like a wine, you know, it takes time to season. So, you know, cheese, it takes time to become flavorful and ready to be sold. So some things take time, and that's how I'd pursue it. I would also show the person what the value is, and that's where the key is. When a person can see the value or the possibilities for themselves, that's when they'll jump into action. You know, my experience of most people is they're not real happy. They're kind of miserable or discontented or playing small or numb or kind of going through the motions. You know, one of the things that I say is that I notice that a lot of people seem to like suck the tailpipe. Like they're not really making it happen in life. They're not real happy with themselves. They're settling for a lot of mediocrity in relationships, in their health, in their business, in their life. But that isn't a life sentence. It's what they're doing because that's what they know. Most people are doing the best they can given what they know. When they can see another possibility, they can make a new choice. And you never know what it takes to get through to somebody, but you get to continuously reinvent yourself to figure it out. When you do, especially with that challenging person, then imagine the breakthrough that not only will be available to that person, but to you yourself. So look at it as a challenge and an opportunity for redesign and reinvention.
Thank you.
Okay.
And Marty just asked a question about when you're quarantined with someone who's stuck in the doing. Marty, do you want to ask your question? This will be the last question for tonight.
Hey, Michael.
Hi.
I think I answered my own question. So I have a spouse who doesn't want to talk about what's going on. He's very much in the doing, which is great because a lot of things are getting done. And I think I answered my own question because I'm being there for him. I'm being loving. He has PTSD from military service, and I'm worrying that he's not worrying, but I think I'm putting my worrying on him. I'm making him wrong for not worrying like I am.
What are you worrying about?
Oh, everything. Losing everything. Losing my family, losing everything.
Okay. First of all, Marty, I'm sorry you're going through this, and I hear your emotion, and I'm sorry that you're feeling those feelings right now. I want to say, and this is not just to you, but this is for everybody. It's important that we always are in relationship with who's feelings are these? Are they mine, or are they his or hers or it or that? So if you're worried and you're feeling these feelings of fear, okay, totally human. It's important that you find an outlet to communicate those feelings without having your partner pay the price.
Okay.
The other part of that is when you're in a neutral and clear space, you'll be able to see whether or not the other person is okay. You know, one thing I do with my wife is sometimes I'll look at her face and I'll see something and I know she's not empowered. So I want to point this out. This is key. So I know she's not empowered, but I don't assume to know what it is. So I don't look at the face and go, oh, she's a bitch. I don't look at the face and go, oh, she's mad, or, oh, I don't want to be around her right now. Sometimes I'll look at the face and I'll go, something's going on and I don't know what it is. So I don't assume to know. So what I'll do is I'll simply ask without assumption, honey, are you okay? And I'll get a myriad of different answers. Yes, I was just thinking about something. Oh, okay, great. Anything you want to share with me? No, it's okay. All right, no problem. Let me know if you want to speak. Sometimes it's, yeah, you know what? I'm hungry. Oh, okay. See, sometimes I'll read, it might be low blood sugar, or I'll read that it might be, you know, something that she's going through in her mind. She's formulating a thought, you know, whatever. But just don't assume that the person that you're speaking to or the person that you live with, person that you're in relationship with is going through something, filtering it through your own filters, because it's not always the case. Always give people the benefit of the doubt. In my life, that is something I've learned to do as a father, as a husband, as a son. Always give people the benefit of the doubt. Their intentions are good. They mean well. And then go from there.
Thank you.
Marty, you just asked a really important question. I'm so grateful to you for your vulnerability and for sharing in front of 200 strangers how you're feeling. So thank you. And for that, Michael and I would like to offer a gift to each of you who are on the call tonight. And this is something that is really unique to this time that we find ourselves in right now. So first of all, if we could just give some twinkles to Michael. Thank you so much, Michael, for the words of wisdom. I could just listen to you talk all night long. And we are so grateful for the hour that you've given us. In addition to giving us this hour, Michael has offered something else that's amazing. So we typically, we have a class that's starting on July the 31st. It's called B7. And I posted the link to our website in the chat. And typically the cost to attend one of our leadership programs, which is 4 months long, is $2,997. Because of the time that we find ourselves in and because of the opportunity that we have to create community, just for the people who are on this call tonight, we're cutting that cost to $1,497 for the July 31st class. It's a huge, huge gift. For any of you who've been through this program, please give twinkles if this completely changed your life. It completely changed mine, which is why I'm now in partnership with Michael doing this work every day. And we are committed that this work will continue, that we will continue to change our lives, that we will continue to build our relationships, that we will continue to reverse cycles. And so we are offering this gift in addition to the people who are just on this call, just for the people who are on this call. We are also offering a coaching call for you and Michael. That's right, just a one-on-one call with you and Michael, for you to bring to him anything that you're working through and for him to give you one-on-one coaching. Now, this is only for those people who are signing up for the July 31st class. And there's a link in the chat. I just posted this and I'll post it again. The link in the chat is for you to just give me your phone number. I'll be calling you. And so you now know me. So we're all friends. I'll be contacting you and I'll be setting up time for you to coach with Michael, for you to have a coaching session with him. And we'll be sharing how to get you connected with the other students who are signed up for class on July 31st. We are so excited that all of you have begun this conversation with us. I've also posted a link to the ongoing seminar series. So Michael is doing this seminar series for the next 3 Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock Eastern time. And all of you and your friends and family are invited. Let's make this conversation as big as it could possibly be. So let's invite our friends and family. Let's share this on Facebook. Let's get the word out that we are not stuck, that life does not have to be as it is right now. We do not have to be stuck complaining. We get to create something new, and that is so exciting. So what is your Tabasco sauce? That's the question tonight. And we're going to keep this conversation going next Tuesday. Thank you, Michael, so much for being on the conversation tonight. I'll be staying on for another 10 minutes or so to answer any questions. And of course, please fill out the form that I just posted so that you can take advantage of your coaching conversation with Michael and joining us in class on July 31st. Thank you so much.
Can I say something just before I turn it back to you and you can finish in your 10 minutes?
Yes.
All right. First of all, thank you everybody for jumping on this call tonight. Thank you for your participation from Ghana to Maui and all of the cities and towns and people in between to B1, 2, 3, 4. I love you all. Look forward to seeing you. And for those of you that have not enrolled yet into the BBA trainings. The BBA trainings are life-altering and extraordinary. I did this training 34 years ago when I was 21 years old. I'm 55 years old now, and I've spent the last 34 years of my life creating extraordinary results and a life worth living. And everybody has the power within themselves to do that. So I absolutely invite you to take advantage of the opportunity and the offer. What Candace said about the training cost, which is $14.97 for the July training that we're offering. I want to say something else about that. I paid more than that 34 years ago. So talk about a priceless experience. Nothing in my life that I have ever spent money on has produced more value than what I've learned as a leader through these transformational trainings and the coaching I've received. And then I've turned around and spent my professional adult life coaching, training, and developing other people to do the same. Candace was a student in one of my trainings, and Candace contacted me about a year after she did the training, contacted me to enroll me in doing this work together and training her to become a trainer. So Candace is well on her way to becoming a trainer. And to all of you that are in MLP1, I look forward to seeing you soon. I love you guys. And to all of the guests, look, take care of your family, take care of yourself. Use this time, as I said, for homeschooling. Feel free to jump in next week in our next call. Bring anybody and everybody that you'd like to participate in it and share this experience with them and make a difference in their life. Look, the virus feels permanent, but it isn't. It's not permanent for everybody. It is absolutely a horribly uncomfortable, painful, temporary situation for most people. Let's see if we can find our power, find our creativity, find our true vision and purpose in life. And then when we are free to go back into our lives, we don't go back in the way we normally do or normally would. Let's go back into our lives in a whole new leadership and a whole new way of being. Let's be intimately, authentically present for our family, our friends, and the world. Let's create the world we want to live in. So that's my inspirational thought for you. Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you everyone for joining tonight. We look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at 7 o'clock. And I look forward to having phone calls with many of you. So please answer the form, give me your contact information, and let's have a conversation. Let's set up a coaching call with Michael. Have an amazing night, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Candace.
Candace. Thanks, Candace. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you, Candace. Love you.
For me, you
Thank
can
you
always
so
go to
much.
Boston.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, John,
Thank you.
if anyone has a question for me, you can always reach me. I'm the easiest person to get a hold of. Go to bostonbreakthroughacademy.com. You will see my face on the website, and you can chat me, and it goes to my cell phone. So you can reach me anytime at bostonbreakthroughacademy.com. And I'll say good night.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Good night. Thank you.
Bye.
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 Good night.
Does anyone have a question before we sign off?
Wait, I thought you said bye. Now we have a question.
Yeah, right. What?
Okay, no questions? All right, everyone. I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Oh, Meredith, your hair is so cute. Talk
I
to you
know.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Love you.
Fun.
Love you.
Love you. What is this?
This is